store-bought ground beef. And this is local rancher from Holy Cow, regeneratively raised, grass-fed, grass-finished beef. And today we're going to show you a comparison of the value of what you are actually paying for from a actual weight perspective and a nutrient density perspective.
100%.
Is it really meat? Let's find out. So here are the ground beefs that we did get. We got an all natural from Sprouts, you know, good grocery store, I shop there. 100% grass fed, also ground beef, 93.7 lean to fat ratio. Same thing with the all natural one too as well. Then we have yours, Holy Cow beef. Do you want to tell us a little bit about? This is kind of like a 93.7, correct?
Right. So we offer two kinds. We offer what we call regular ground and lean ground. So we chose the lean so that we would be as close to the fat content. You know, all being said, we don't calibrate. We're too small, but this is about the same fat content.
And we're going to do it just to try to do a fair comparison, right? Just an in-home, at-home experiment, science experiment.
Yes.
Because we need
just as y'all would be, because y'all would be cooking these at home. So which one are you going to get the most value out of?
Correct. And then we also have a, it's called all natural ground beef. So I'm not sure where we got this one from, but this is 85 to 15 lean. And all of these on here, this says 16 ounces, this one says 16 ounces, and this one says 16 ounces, which are about a pound. And on here, what do we have right here?
1 pound.
1 pound. Okay.
Yes.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about what we're looking at from a package perspective and then the weight?
Yes. So I've probably done this about a dozen times, but I can promise you that when I put this on the scale, in the package, it's going to show that it's slightly over a pound. It says it is 1.02. That packaging is going to weigh more than 0.2. And so when you're paying for a full pound, you actually aren't even going to get a full pound out of definitely the big box stores. And why is that important? It's like, okay, so I get 15.7, so I get 15.8, so I might even get 15.5, 15.9. Is it really that big a deal to not get that? When you're looking at hundreds of thousands and even millions of pounds, it's a big deal to that grocery store that they short you that 0.1 or 0.3 or 0.5. And so you aren't always getting that full pound. That's
kind of like we talk in nutrition too, where it's just like, you know, it's not one maybe glass of wine isn't going to kill you, but it's like if you're doing it every day, every night, how many, the accumulation, it adds up over time. And so if you sort of have that same mindset and that perspective when you are looking at your beef, or say, you know, some of you guys shop at Costco too, and you're buying in bulk. Well, you know, more bulk also yields more waste. Or,
it does.
You know,
it does. It does. And so, putting on the next one, this one has a different packaging. It says 1.08, and the second Sprouts should be about the same. So when we're looking packaging to packaging, this one is 1.09, so it's roughly the same. So you're going to have just that 0.1 difference of product inside that package. But then you go ahead and put the small rancher, which is always packaged by hand at a small processing plant, and ours weighs 1.3, so 1 ounce 0.3. So, and our packaging also will take some of that off, but it's not going to be an entire ounce of packaging. So we'll go ahead and open these and show those to you right now.
Yes. Okay, so we showed you what it was like in the packaging. So now we're going to remove the packaging and show you what the weight is with just the product.
My product here, so we'll go ahead and see what it shows. Actually, this one is the first time ever showing 1.0, so way to go. That's really, really impressive. That's the first time. I've done this a dozen times, and I'm impressed.
Yep. Well, that's okay. Maybe they're changing their ways.
Yeah. So maybe I've called them out enough times that they're doing this. Let me grab another container to put these into.
So this is raw, 1 pound.
Yes, 1 pound out of the sleeve. Okay, we're still got a 0 mark here. We're going to open up the Sprouts package and go ahead and put that right into and see how that yields out. And there's your 15.2 coming out of the Sprouts. So you're paying for a full pound, but you're only actually taking home 15.2, and then when we cook it down, you'll actually see a huge, huge difference.
Okay, and that's almost an ounce.
Yeah, that's almost a full ounce that they're shorting you.
That's almost an ounce that is being shorted. So when you look at it from a weight perspective, you're not getting the value that you deserve. And when you look at it from a nutrient density perspective, micronutrients and macronutrients alike, you are not getting the value that you think you're getting.
It's all true. So now we're going to go ahead and put the second Sprouts package in there. And that's at 15.4. If you remember, that one did weigh a little bit more. So that one, but still, that's more than half an ounce.
And it's
just
still
quite a
not
bit.
what they
Yes.
say it was on the label.
Yep.
So now what's
we're
this
doing
one?
Holy cow. This is our beef. And we're still giving you an extra ounce. Still charging you just 1 pound. So it's 1 pound, 1 ounce. So even with our packaging off, we're over a pound. And you're going to find that almost all small people in that relationship, when you can come into that relationship, that you're going to find this to be true.
Yeah, and it may not be always, 1.1, right? You guys tried to make it to a pound as much as possible.
We do. But the error, we have them err on the other side. I mean, they too have an automatic machine, and we always have them calibrated just slightly above, just for that. It's funny because it just keeps our customers happy, and that's where we want to be. Every once in a blue moon, probably in the last 24 years of doing this business, I've probably had maybe 1 or 2 people call and say, hey, this is showing less than a pound, and we immediately refund them or give them that full pound is what they really want. So then they end up really getting 2 pounds for the price of 1. So that's because we're in that relationship, and that's just how you would treat your best friend, and that's how we treat all of our people. So.
Yes, and that's why we like Holy Cow.
Yeah.
So now what we're doing is a fair comparison. So we're taking Holy Cow beef, we're taking the Sprouts packages, and we are taking the other sort of ground beef package that I guess we're not sure where did we get that from? Walmart,
Yep.
Okay. And we're going to bring them all down to the lowest common denominator of 15.2 in ounces so that we can get a fair cooking demonstration and a fair comparison, because we've already compared for you what it was like with raw meat weight and so what you're actually getting. So there's not consistent transparency on the package labeling when they label it as 16 ounces, except for Walmart. Actually, just
I know that's awesome.
It's the first time it came in 1
It's
pound.
the very
Great,
first time
good.
I've done this a million
Okay.
times. So yes.
And then Holy Cow had a little bit over
Yes.
the pound.
Yes.
So now, like I said, we're bringing it down to 15.2. Now we have the cooking demonstration to see what the final product you're actually getting once you cook the meat.
Yes. Okay. So
Here
here
we
we go. Holy Cow in my right hand, the Walmart beef in my left hand. We'll go ahead and cook 2 at a time. We'll cook the 2 Sprouts after this. So, but I want you to visually see. Anyways, let me get them in the pan to start going, and then I can tell you why I want to do this with y'all. So, besides the fact of just showing you the weight, and then Lindsay's going to do the macronutrient and all that kind of stuff. When animals are processed in big processing plants, the thing that they actually do is after the harvest, all animals are rinsed off. And so some are rinsed off with water and some are rinsed off with lactic acid. Ours are rinsed off with a lactic acid. They too have some kind of an acid base that they rinse theirs, but they always rehydrate that carcass with water. And so and then we end up dry aging our product for about 14 days. And sometimes up to 21, depending on the fat cover and various issues. But generally speaking, we dry age it for 21. That continues to pull the water weight out. Whereas in a big processing plant, they're going to go ahead and hydrate and make it, the vascular system, all of it get rehydrated with tap water. And they go straight to butchering. So that means that they're cutting products that are fully hydrated with tap water. So as we begin to break down, you're going to see the pan on the left releasing a lot steam, a lot more than you're going to see coming off the pan on the right. And that is your water weight. That is what you're paying for. That's what I want the viewer to understand and to realize, that even when you're buying Sprouts, which is $9.99 a pound, versus my ground beef, $9.99 a pound, you're not seeing You can see that this does steam, but it doesn't steam anywhere near to the degree that the one on the left steams. And that's just really, really, really important, because there's your dollars going up in steam. And so just be aware of that. Most people don't understand that it's not only the ranching and the care of the animals, it's also how they're processed.
Yes, and I'm a big proponent of that. It's a lot about the process, and it's not so much about the food, right? It's what they're doing to the food.
Yep.
And so not only are they like re-injecting or rehydrating it with tap water, nonetheless. I have a lot of questions for that, because they are putting water in your meat. So as Ann and small farmers and local farmers do it right by dry aging it and pulling the water out, you're getting a more nutrient dense meat, and then the weight is happening after that. So you are getting the bigger bang for your buck when you do purchase from those that are doing it, similar to Ann is at Holy Cow. But the other question that I had too as well, it's if they're putting more, if they're rehydrating the meat, then that also means you're introducing the potential for more bacteria, and this is probably why there's so many recalls too in these factory, like huge, big ag companies.
Look at the difference in this steam.
Yeah.
Can y'all just see that? Can y'all see the difference in this steam here? Especially side by side, this angle might be better. I mean, the stove is set the same. Everything's the same. It's just a ton of liquid just going up.
Wow.
So,
and these are almost essentially cooked to the, like, similarly. It's like the very same
brand of pan. It's all the surgical stainless steel. And the stove's set the same. So it is definitely the same.
So when you do introduce the water into the muscle, right, it could cause more bacteria, could cause more problems, could cause more recalls. And then that's why there's a lot of recommendations too, is like cook your beef above 165 degrees Fahrenheit. So then what do you start losing from there? You then also start losing more nutrients because you're cooking the heck out of it. Enzymes, all the microbiology in there. And then as well as the taste.
Yes, the flavor.
What the heck?
Yes, exactly. So when we dry age, we have found that we lose about 7% of the water weight. So we actually lose 7% of sellable carcass meat and water weight, etc. Whereas when they hydrate, they're going to hydrate at least 5%. So you should see a 12% swing between the two. Does it always work out that way? Not 100%, but it's around that. So I've done this so often that's my average is about 12%. I've seen it as high as 15% difference between a pound cooked versus a pound. I've seen it as low as about 8%. But generally speaking, it's going to be right around that 12% difference when they're done cooking.
Okay, so the other thing that Ann just brought up too was that this is a pound of ground beef, right? And so we're just doing this on a small scale. But yesterday or the day before, you had spoken with your son, Tim, and you guys both did a comparison of something of a larger quantity, like a brisket and so on. So that's something to 4 pounds, maybe. What did you guys?
So keep in mind when you're comparing ground beef to ground beef, and we're talking about the water weight that's added in processing. The ground beef is going to go through grinders, and some of that water is going to come out. And so you're going to see a bigger swing in the muscle mass, like the briskets, your steaks, all your roasts. So we went ahead and cooked a 3.5 pound brisket from Holy Cow, and then we cooked a 5 pound trimmed brisket from Costco. The reason we wanted trimmed is because grass-fed and grass-finished generally doesn't come with that huge fat cap that people see on the briskets. Therefore, the price per pound was actually more expensive at Costco for their trim than our grass-fed, grass-finished brisket. So keep that in mind too as I talk about this. So when I did the percentage, our 3.5 pound cooked down, it yielded 71% finished cooked product. When I cooked the Costco product, it yielded 55%.
Oh my gosh.
So that's almost a 20% swing there. And so, and then it ended up being that theirs turned out to be about 20 plus dollars. It was just shy of $21 per pound of cooked meat. Ours was about $15 on the low end, 15.1
Oh my gosh.
of cooked meat.
Wow. And that's just weight, right? We're not
That's just
doing the
weight.
value of the
No,
actual nutrients that
no.
you're getting too.
That's just your dollars out of your pocket.
So basically, when you think you're getting a deal, maybe buying in bulk at these
Yes.
typical grocery stores,
Yes.
you know, you're getting more of a discount when you buy more. You're actually getting less.
Yes. Yep.
So
Yep. Yep.
accumulation, right? The bulk buys.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So these are just about finished. So I'm going to go ahead and get them over to the scale.
Okay, so Anne has brought over
This is the Walmart beef,
the Walmart beef.
the one that you saw steaming so much.
And this was the one that actually started out as a pound,
Yep.
which was surprising and shocking. And after
Yes.
all the times that Anne has done this, was the first time
Yes.
she's seen it. Great. So, whoa. Oh my gosh.
What is this?
9.9.
9.9, and they both started at 15.2. So you can see why I'm so excited that Lindsay is going to bring this to her audience.
Yeah.
I've done this a lot of times, but never with quite the audience that you have. And
Sure.
for people just need to know, again, what if we cooked package to package? There's a huge difference in package to package, but we're doing 15.2. And so now you see, where did the weight go? Went up in steam.
There's your dollars. Poof.
Here's your dollars.
Or your pennies or whatever.
All right, we'll get to cooking the next 2
Yep,
pounds.
so now we're gonna do the next level of, I guess I would consider grocery store, because I have shopped at Sprouts before.
Yes.
And I still will if I need to.
Yep.
Because there are some really good quality things in there. But
Not for
again,
the meat.
for ground beef specifically, we're gonna show you what Sprouts has to offer.
We have zeroed out the measuring container. This is the Holy Cow beef. Go ahead and see what it yields.
Okay, this is the Holy Cow beef.
Holy Cow beef. And I won't be that particular about getting every little crumb, but I'll go ahead and make sure I get the bulk of it. And this, again, is our extra lean. So do you see what it's yielding?
Yes, so this is 11.8 ounces after cooking.
After cooking. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just put that right back into the pan, and we'll get
Great.
the next one.
Okay, so we did a little flipperoo, cleaned the pans, started out as a clean slate as we did the Holy Cow and the Walmart brand.
Yes.
Now we're doing the 2 Sprouts.
Yes.
One of them 100% grass-fed.
That's what they say. So
Okay.
that's
What they say, right?
this one, right? I'm sorry, I'm so skeptical.
No, that's okay, right? I am too. No, I love it.
So we'll start the grass-fed on the same side as Holy Cow grass-fed. We'll see if it steams differently. And then we have the regular 93.7 on the left. So
Great.
we'll get those started and see how we do.
Here we go.
Both of these have been ground in-house at Sprouts. That also will play into it, the water weight and the steaming being just different because they've been transported in whole carcass, and like whole, we call them primals. That's not the accurate word, but like quarters. And then that butcher shop in-house will break it down. So there will be a little bit difference in the water being transported rather than being packaged up and sealed like a more conventional Walmart product.
Right.
That's not done in-house.
Which
So-
is to be expected
you can
too,
see this one's
because
starting to steam,
oh yep, which is to be expected too, because you know you have a grocery store that now has an in-house butcher. It's not typical to Walmart, so your price point, you are paying a little bit higher for a little bit higher quality beef. And so we wanted to have these 3 different comparisons because you know we wanted to see it too as well. And so you would expect, or one would expect, to pay to get what they're also that value and what they're paying for. Okay, so what do we have here? This one's the all-natural, non-grass-fed one, correct?
Correct. And it is steaming a bit more, but this grass-fed is steaming much more than my grass-fed.
Than the other, the
Yeah.
Holy Cow,
Yeah,
correct?
you can see.
Maybe if I pull up that video, I can see
Yeah, swap
actually
them.
the comparison
That's
and
a
see
good
maybe
idea.
4 of them.
Oh, that's a great idea.
We'll see.
Yes.
So yes, this one's actually steaming more than the Holy Cow beef one. And then this one is steaming more than this one. So this one's the all natural and this one's the 100% grass fed. And these two are both from Sprouts.
Yes. See how the water and the grease separate?
Oh yeah.
So you can, you can visually see how much water is in this pan as opposed to the Holy Cow, because the water and grease separate. And so you can see it's just,
Yeah. And these are not Holy Cow. These are both.
No, these are both Sprouts.
Both Sprouts. See, so there's a difference. There's water, there's grease in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just cooked both Sprouts, 100% grass fed. That's this one, right?
This one is the 100% grass fed. We're going to put it onto the scale. Scale's been zeroed out with the same container. So get all the bits off the bottom.
What are the results? I like science projects.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Okay, 9.2. So when you compare that to 100% grass-fed and grass-finished, so we know for sure because we are talking to the rancher, the farmer, this is 100% grass-fed their whole life. And they're American grass-fed certified. Where theirs, once cooked, came out to
11.8.
11.8 ounces.
But remember, we also gave you more in the beginning, so we're going to add back ours fully cooked in a minute.
At the end. But when we do 15.2 starting weight on everything to give everything a plain, fair play.
Yes.
This is what 100% grass-fed Sprouts brand gives you. When they do label it at 16 ounces, you really get 15.2 in raw, and then when cooked, now what you are really taking home, what is it?
9.1. That's even less than the Walmart one. But
it's less than the Walmart one.
Yeah, because it's leaner. If it's grass fed, I always say if. I'm sorry, but anyways, if it's grass fed, that's why it's showing that probably. But we started with the same 15.2. So interesting. So yes, so we'll go ahead and get the next one. Let me clean this container.
So now we're going to check the other Sprouts one, which is just all natural. It's not 100% grass fed, but it says on the label all natural. So let's see the results of that one. Right, last but not least.
This is the, what was it, all natural?
All natural.
Yep, so I'm not really sure what that label means. I mean, because obviously, Walmart beef is all natural too. So
and also, what is natural anymore in the world? What are we talking about?
What are we talking about here? So
let's see the results.
See what the results are.
Oh my gosh.
Scraping the bits off just to be fair. Got to be fair. So there we go.
Wow, okay, so this one actually turned out more than the one before. 9.9 ounces.
Which was what the Walmart one also did 9.9.
Okay.
So that's kind of really amazing.
So then you're getting an all natural, whatever that is, right?
Whatever that is.
Then you're getting a Walmart brand. They're both coming out at 9.9, yet Walmart is cheaper.
Yes.
Which would you choose now? I don't know. If I was looking at just cost, maybe Walmart, right? Because then you're saving.
Yeah, but I also know what kind. I'm too in the know, so I know what kind of cattle
are going in. Yeah, but
Walmart.
I was just thinking price and ounce
you're just
perspective.
Price per ounce. If you're just a budget conscious person, now you know that will at least yield the same.
From those three. But but yeah, I guess the takeaway here too is just the final results of not only do you guys yield more in your upfront packaging, like the raw meat, but you also yield more at the end product when the consumer cooks it at home.
Yes.
From a price and weight perspective and value.
Yep, that's right. So I'm going to go ahead and cook that last little bit of my beef, the certified American grass-fed certified beef, because their grass-fed, 100% grass-fed at Sprouts is the same price per pound as mine. So if I were to buy one package of mine versus one package of theirs, I'd like y'all to just know the difference.
Right. So let me show you what she means by the little bits. So since we had brought it down to 15.2 to make it an even playing ground for all of the meats once it was cooked, when you actually purchase the meat and you purchase it for its weight value, the Holy Cow beef you also actually are getting this much more, which is what, an ounce more almost.
1.1, yes.
1.1,
yes,
yeah.
Yes, just over an ounce.
Just over,
Well,
okay.
compared to their 15.2. So
Right.
mine was 1.1, theirs was 15.2, so it's almost an ounce and a half,
Yeah.
almost.
So that's a lot. So not only is it, sure, this is a higher price point per pound, but you're getting more in weight, in volume, in nutrition, micro, macronutrients,
Yes.
all the things, okay?
Yes.
This is what extra we took off from the
Other Sprouts.
brands
Yes.
to meet the 15.2,
Yes.
so that we can experiment fairly. And then also this one is from the Walmart run, right?
Correct.
That actually did run a pound, so we
Yes.
did take it out to do. So this is probably, I mean, Holy Cow has a little bit more,
Yes.
but then the Walmart brands
Add some.
had some too
Yes.
as well. So now what we'll do is we
cook
will
this.
cook the rest of that, and then add to it and show you the value you are really getting when you source from quality, local, family
right.
farms, regenerative, 100% grass-fed, grass-finished,
Yes.
American grass-fed, like
Yes.
really good farms.
Yeah, people who care about y'all.
Yes.
Not the bottom dollar, y'all. We care about y'all. So thank you. And we're just cooking this last little bit. Again, you can see no steam.
I know, right?
Even on this last little bit, just burns, it gets bitter.
Yeah.
So I like to add it very, very late.
So this is the final result of, we took Holy Cow beef, the 15.2 that it started with.
Yep.
Then when we cooked it, it yielded 11.9 or 8 or
11.8.
11.8.
Yep.
So then, of course, it being raw, Holy Cow had given you a pound and some ounces.
Yes.
How much?
1.1. So
1.1.
1 pound, 1.1 ounces.
Okay. So now we added that back in so you can see really the value of what you're getting from something really high quality source. So we added in, so now you're getting an extra half ounce.
Another
So
half
it's
ounce. Let's just
0.5. So now we're going to add back in
Let me see your spoon, and I'll grab the last of what's
Yes.
in this bowl.
So we're going to add back in the rest of what we cooked. So what you're actually getting, the final product that you are consuming and eating from Holy Cow beef, is you're getting 12 ounces.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
pretty good.
I know. And so, of course, you can add in the other little bits of beefs that we did show you in the beginning. This one from the Sprouts version, and then this one from the Walmart one. And when you do, obviously, this will be less than what you're looking at too, because of how it cooks and how it steams and how much that
Right.
you are losing
Yeah.
when you cook it.
Yep.
So those are the results. Cool. Well, that was an impressive comparison and science
Yes.
experiment. We
Yeah.
had so much fun
We
doing
did.
it.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks so much for showing us that and just showing us the real value of what, hardworking ranchers and farmers do for us, and just trying to get that word out there
That's
that,
the main thing.
yeah, because a lot can be like, oh, beef this, and especially with my community too, it's like, well, what does it matter? Beef is beef. Not really.
Right. Not really.
Not
really.
So,
Right.
so what I'm going to do for you actually now is I'm going to break it down for you from a micronutrient and macronutrient perspective. So now you get to really see the value of what you are paying for from a nutrient density standpoint.
Yes.
So check this out, and then we'll come back, and then we'll say bye to Ann. Okay, so we did the experiment from a weight perspective. We went through it all. Right. So now I want to talk about the nutritional analysis. Now, mind you, this is still an at-home experiment. So these are estimated. These are approximate. So this is how I balance what I'm paying for, right? There's still a value in the actual nutritional take home. So we talked about the weight and just weight and what cooks off between the water weight and the fat, and what you're getting straight out of the package. You're not even getting a full ounce, and from the Sprouts perspective. But anyways, okay, so now basically the final cooked in ounces for all of them across the board was, you had your lower end at $5.68 per pound, store bought from Walmart, and that came to about 9 ounces of cooked weight. Then you had your store bought higher end grass fed, 100% grass fed from Sprouts, which came to about $9.99 a pound, or which was $9.99 a pound. Okay, and then you had your regenerative grass-fed, Holy Cow, small family farms come also at $9.99 a pound, and that take home was 12 ounces, right? So we had 9 ounces take home, actually cooked weight from Walmart, 9 ounces cooked weight from Sprouts, and then 12 ounces cooked weight from the Holy Cow beef. Okay, so now the cost per cooked ounce is 63 cents from Walmart. Okay, then you have $1.11 from Sprouts, cost per cooked ounce. And then you have 83 cents from Holy Cow beef, cooked per ounce, cost per cooked ounce, right? So that means the regenerative farm is actually cheaper than your 100% grass-fed Sprouts. Okay, it's not necessarily cheaper than Walmart, but again, it's up to you to decide what is cheap, what's not, right? So as we go through this. Now, from a calorie perspective, you have about 540 calories from the Walmarts and from the Sprouts. And from the Holy Cow beef, you actually have about 685. Again, because you have more take home after it's cooked. Great. Like, you know, less hungry, more satiated. Like, you're getting more calories for what you're paying for. Then we have protein, okay? And this is a big one, right? So your protein, you're getting about 68 grams from your Walmart brand and from your Sprouts brand, again, from a 9 ounce perspective, cooked weight. And then from Holy Cow beef, you're getting 93.6 grams, about, right? Again, I'm going to say this one more time. This is an at-home experiment, so please just understand that this isn't like done in a lab or anything like this. This is about an approximately. So that's a pretty significant difference. That's what is it, 70 to 90, 20-ish grams of protein that you would be missing out on, okay? If you didn't just buy, you know, a package of regenerative grass-fed beef that, anyways, that's kind of a no-brainer to me, as protein is like super important. So the cost per gram of protein is, from the Walmart perspective, is less than a penny, right? And then you have from the Sprouts, it's about 15 cents. And then you have from your Holy Cow, it's about 10 cents, okay? So again, a little less than per gram of protein from the Holy Cow perspective as compared to the 100% grass-fed Sprouts. Sure, not as cheap as Walmart, but again, cheap. So then total fat, now we have the Walmart is 29 grams about. From Sprouts, about 29 grams. And then we have 36 grams from Holy Cow. Again, offering you more density in your macros, in your fat macros. Then you have your omega-3s. We have 270 milligrams from the Walmart and from the Sprouts brand, and then 960 from Holy Cow. Okay, amazing. Then the cost per omega-3s is actually, the Holy Cow comes out cheaper. So you're getting more of those beneficial omega-3s as opposed to the Walmart and the Sprouts. So then your conjugated linoleic acid, 108 milligrams, Walmart and Sprouts, and 48 milligrams from Holy Cow beef. Okay, another amazing micronutrient. So the cost, again, Holy Cow comes out actually per milligram. Then your iron. So now, like, and again, there's more micronutrients to dive into, but I'm just going to go over sort of the top ones that are really important in ground beef. And so going on to iron, so about 4.5 milligrams from Walmart to Sprouts, and you're getting 9 milligrams or 9.6 milligrams, again, estimated, from Holy Cow beef. So I'm getting more iron, okay, and 100% grass-fed, grass-finished, regenerative beef from local family farms. Then we move on to zinc, 12 milligrams, 12.6 milligrams from your Walmart to your Sprouts, and then you have 21 milligrams in Holy Cow beef. Okay, for vitamin B12, you have 3.6 microgram from Walmart, from Sprouts, and then you have 5.4 microgram from Holy Cow beef. again, you decide which one is more cost effective from a nutrient density standpoint. So some of the key insights is at $9.99 a pound, the grass-fed regenerative from Holy Cow beef beats store-bought at the same price point on every nutrient and every retention stat, in my opinion. And then at the lower grocery store prices of $5.68, such as your Walmart brands, conventional is cheaper per ounce, but still delivers significantly less nutrients. And the grass-fed from regenerative Holy Cow beef gives you 33% more cooked meat, which closes the price gap fast, in my opinion. So if you're spending $9.99 per pound, either way, regenerative grass-fed wins, right? As opposed to 100% Sprouts, or 100% grass-fed from Sprouts, in my opinion. And then if you're buying the cheapest store-bought from a Walmart, as we presented, then you'll pay less, but you're losing out on weight, protein, and vital nutrients. So that's sort of my nutrient analysis. So I hope you found this at-home experiment helpful from, again, a weight perspective. It shed some light into what you're really getting at home as the consumer, because I think that's important, and also who you're really supporting too, and what behavior you're supporting, what farming practices you're supporting, what ranching practices you're supporting. So Anne, thank you so much.
Yes, I had so much fun. Thanks for doing this. I really have enjoyed you being here and letting me get this out there. So
of course. No, thanks so much for the knowledge and just your excitement to want to share it, not only from nutrition and from health and from everything, but also just, what it means, because it's also very meaningful. Our wallet is very meaningful for us too, as well. And so, sure, you go into the grocery store and you see the price tag and, there's a connection there. There's an emotional connection. It's like, okay, well, I can be budget friendly and save and, choose cheaper meat. But I think in the reality of it, especially when we talk about the accumulation and the long-term health benefits for your health and your wallet.
Yes. That's huge.
It's great to source from your local farmer.
It is. The quality is just far, far superior. It makes it really hard to go back once you start eating that kind of high quality.
Right. And not only from a price perspective, from a taste too, and like micronutrient, like the density of just the nutrients too. It's just like, wow, you do really feel it once you change from that.
That's, I love that you're saying that, because I've had more than one young person, which health is such a gift to young people, but tell me they can feel it. They can feel it. We feel it because we lived so badly before.
Sure.
And so we absolutely feel it. But to hear like young people who already kind of have the gift of health talking about, no, I can feel the difference when I eat grass-fed, grass-finished as opposed to not. So.
And I mean, just like a quick example too is when somebody eats pork bacon from a grocery store that's just like pork and, it's your sort of basic that you would find at the grocery store.
Right.
People feel it like inflamed and things like that. And so it may not, because there's, loads of antibiotics pumped in there, hormones, nitrates and nitrates that will obviously trigger autoimmune or inflammation. Those probably you feel that a little bit more than you would from like a ground beef perspective to, a conventionally raised ground beef to a regenerative and 100% grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef, but there is still a difference.
It's the GMO soy and corn. Those are going to set off those inflammatory markers, and so and any animal that's going to be fed or finished on grain are going to have soy and corn, and they're both genetically modified. So those are huge inflammation markers as well.
Cool. And you can check out my YouTube or just even the future videos, because we filmed a couple of pieces of different content out here that we can dive into more of the health benefits as it relates to your omegas and then your CLAs as well, to the actual micronutrients in here, just different from a weight cost perspective. And so just, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And then also I'm going to put Anne's information down there too as well, that they can see you, follow you, you because you're pioneering this world too. It's the information that they offer and that they're willing to offer is so valuable, and you can apply it to the questions that you ask your local rancher at home. And this is how you can find people who are close to you so that you can go out and shake your farmer's hand too. It may not be Ann, it may not be Holy Cow Beef, but this is a great resource and a good place to start. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Shake
Shake your farmer's hand, no, or hug your farmer.
I know, right?
Or rancher. They don't want to be called farmers.
That's right. That's right. We are grass farmers, but we're ranchers.
Yeah.
That's very particular.
Yep. Holy cow.
Yep.
So
Okay,
this
let's
is
start again.
Weldon.
Yes.
Also from Holy Cow. These are the two masterminds
We go
behind
together.
the scenes. Yes. So say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
I laughed because he just photobombed our last shot.
Yes,
And
he photobombed, but this is real.
Yeah, this is real.
Yeah.
This is what we do, what
This
we
is
are.
real
So
life.
there you go.
So thank you too for doing what you're doing and
Thank you.
passing it on to the next generation.
We just
Yeah.
want it to get out to as many people as possible.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's our heart. That's what we're motivated by.
Yes.
Just everybody
So you
needs to be
make
able to eat
better
this way.
choices
Yes.
economically and nutritionally.
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Yes.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks,
All right.
guys.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.